So I'm going to use the Greetings of the Season bundle, and actually not a whole lot of that, but more so the designer series paper with which it coordinates. And I will grab pieces so we can look at them together. I won't go through them too terribly carefully, but I will show you a few of them as we go. And I want to say, if you have not picked up these dies yet, they're going to be useful for, well, just about anything. They do not have to be used for Christmas. They do not have to be used with this suite collection or with this stamp set even. So think about this die set and its many possibilities. And we're going to create an album using those along with 12 by 12. Oh, hi, Laura. 12 by 12 Mossy Meadow cardstock. Okay, so we're going to do some scoring. It's 12 by 12 and we want a 3 by 4 grid. So I am going to start by pulling out my ruler here so I have it long enough. I'm going to start by scoring it 3 times in this direction, and we want all the sections even. So it's 4 and it's 8. And then we're going to turn it this other direction. And remember I said I wanted a 3 by 4 grid. So I have 3 sections here. Now I need 4 sections the other way. So I'm going to score it at 3, 6. And if you know math, the next multiple of 3 is 9. And I know all of you who cut paper are probably quite adept at math, right? Okay, now we got to make a couple of cuts here. So we're going to cut actually this line from that first 3-inch line from here all the way up to the first score line at the top. So we're going to cut through one of the score lines. So I'm going to line this up again at 3 inches. And I could have done this while I had it in the trimmer at the same time, but I decided one step at a time here, okay? So we're just going to cut up to the score line. And then I'm going to move it over to 6 inches and do the same thing with that one. So you can start on either end, lift up your blade and set it down in the right place and go towards you. And then we've got 2 little sections here that we have slit. Now, this part right here, we're going to cut right off. So turning it and putting it in at 4 inches. Okay, so down here are the 2 little sections I already cut. Now we're going to put this in at 4 inches and we're going to cut from that center score line out so that we get a piece that is like this. This can be used for something else, and I will make note of that in my blog post, what you can do with this piece. All right, so moving on. Now we've got this piece that looks like that. We've got these 2 sections here. Oh, that would, yeah, treat holders and Christmas tags. I love both of those things. And this would be perfect for that. Hello, tags. Okay, and then we've got this section over here. Now we're going to flip it because we're going to actually work with this in this direction. So we're going to start on the right and move left, which is kind of abnormal, but we're going to fold on that uppermost score line, and I am definitely going to use my bone folder to score it really well. And I can even fix that a little bit so that it lines up. I didn't notice that when I first folded it, but if you have any fixing to do, you can do that as you go. And then we'll fold this one down and give it a nice crease with my bone folder. Then this piece is going to fold backwards. And then it's going to come back down this way. So it's basically the same, except it's on the other side of my strip. So here's what we have so far. Do you follow? I hope so. We've got this section back here. We've got this extra section up here. And now we're ready to fold it shut. So we're going to fold this section backwards. And again, you can kind of fix as you go, but I found I didn't really have a problem. If it was off just a little bit, it's okay. Then this section here is going to get adhesive. So we're going to add some adhesive here. I found this album idea. So we got adhesive there. In my private scrapping Christmas board. No, not Christmas. Scrapping in my private scrapping board. There we go. And it was from a long time ago. Oh gosh, 12 by 12 cardstock has so many fun possibilities. Just get an assorted pack and then you can make a whole bunch of different stuff. But anyway, it's been sitting in that board forever. And finally I was like, you know what? I gotta look way back in the archives and see what I can find. And this is what I found, and I was so excited. And now this little addition is going to help me later. I'm going to just get this out of the way a little bit here. And I've got just the single piece here that is actually the cover to my book. But I am going to move this, this fold right here to the 1/4 inch line. And I am going to score this. Okay, now the reason that is helpful, and I don't know that it got very good here. Here, let's do it this way. Maybe this is better. Yes, okay. That's probably the ticket. Oh, maybe not. Okay, let me, I did it differently when I made my sample, so I'm just going to use my bone folder. Then I know it's going to get in there. All right, so now we've got a little binding on our little book. All right, so let's flip this back. Remember where we were? Okay, we adhered this side to the second section. And now we've got a little book binding here for our album. Now you'll notice, now it's a 1/4 inch short here, but you know what? That's okay. And I'll show you why in just a second. All right, so now I'm actually going to grab a piece of DSP, which I did not have ready, but I was going to show you some of the pieces anyway, so that's okay. You can decorate this all different ways now, and I'm going to start with the cover. I'm going to take this piece right here, and this piece, remember, has a little vanilla in it, a little white in it, and you're gonna cut it at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, because remember, all of our sections here, and maybe you didn't realize it, are gonna be 3 by 4. Okay. And then we're going to add this here, and yes, we are going to let it hang off of the edge. Okay, it's okay. It's okay to do that. Oh gosh, and you know what I already did wrong? We're going to add some of our beautiful ribbon, which also comes in this sweet collection. I want to leave plenty over here because I'm going to end up tying it in a bow later. So I'm going to wrap it around the book. This is how my book is going to stay closed. So 2 things about that. First, I'm going to add some adhesive there. Fold it in half and make sure I got my ends pretty straight, pretty even. And then I am going to slip this in here and get that beautiful ribbon. This comes in that same sweet collection. Jolene, love it. Love it. And then we'll do a little addition of some adhesive on the back too. then we're sure it'll stay in place. Okay, now let's go back. Let's go back to where we were. Okay. Now, I was a little bit careful not to get adhesive too far on the right hand edge for now because it's hanging over, remember? I'm going to show you what I did on the other sample that I started, and you'll kind of understand the reason for all of the, allowing that to happen. But anyway, here we are. This is the front of our book. So I'm going to decorate the cover really quick, and I've cut out the pieces so you don't have to sit here and watch. But I've got my gold foil, and this label comes from that Greetings of the Season die set, which is so amazing, you guys. So there is the nice shiny gold. And then I'm going to take this big die. The dies in this die set are beautiful. I only have a few of them here with me, so I'm not going to sit and share them all. But I'm going to show you. This is going to go down here, so guess what? I'm going to just lop off the top of that stem, or the bottom, depending on how you use it. How is everybody today? I feel like we are just in watch mode, which is totally fine. I love that. But feel free to comment. I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so then we're going to get this all glued on there. And then, oh, I forgot to cut the other piece. Let's see. I have some extras. How about a piece of the vellum? Check that out. So the vellum that we've got, oh, so hot, Jolene. You are right about that. The vellum that we have coordinates with our dies. So this was cut out with some of our dies, and I want to credit Mary Koch, who so carefully sat and die cut out all, let's see, in the end, it was 750 pieces for the Creative Connections Take and Make that I designed. And she cut them out of vellum and the DSP and did just such a beautiful job. So thank you, Mary, for that. And then I fussy cut bells out of the DSP also. This one does not have any dies that coordinate. The single bells, however, do. So you'd be able to die cut those, but I did fussy cut the double bells. Totally worth it though, because I love how this looks. Totally worth it. 80 degrees, that's plenty warm too, but you maybe don't have the humidity we have up here, huh? I'm guessing, Joan. Okay, so we popped that up. And of course, I like the dimensions, so I left some of these leaves up and I curled the little vellum piece. All right, so now check this out. This is how it goes. Open, open, flip, open, flip. Lot of cool sides to decorate. So now let me show you what I've done here. All right, so I've got my sample. This time I used the DSP instead of the vellum. And Becky, praying for you. I hope it went okay today. So here we've got my little sample that I've started, and I want to show you a couple things. My first tip is I took a what are those clickers, those fire starter clicker things, and I melted the edge, and it's a little crusty. You can see this one even got maybe a little brownish on the end. That's okay, but that makes it so that it's not going to fray. So I made sure to do that. It looks like I need to do this one a little bit more, but because it's a synthetic, it will definitely melt, and then it'll stay. So I did that. I also put another piece of the DSP on the back, which I thought was really pretty. And then as we open now, I'm going to show you. This is going to be a journaling section. So let's bring in the other one so you can see. Oh, geez. Okay. So here, how I left the raw edge, which would be fine. You could totally do that. But I added the Very Vanilla, also 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, so that it could layer onto the back of the piece on front, and you'll just never even miss that little bit of mossy meadow that I took away to make a binding here. And then we are going to decorate this section right here, and I'm going to show you this really fun idea. If you go on, I don't know if it's every photo website or whatever, you can get 2 by 3 photos, and they come, here's Grace, just hanging and enjoying Christmas. But you can get 2 by 3 photos, which is the perfect size for this. Now, the only thing that I noticed that I wish I would have had, I had photos that were 3 by 2 instead of 2 by 3. You know what I mean? So it's easier if you use the taller ones, although this fits across, which I'm going to make work for today. And we are going to start with a piece of gold foil. Okay, where are you? Gold foil. There you are. And I cut it the same width as the photo. And now we're going to take one of the larger of the dies from the Greetings of the Season. And then I am going to, now I got to lift you up here. You're too close. Okay, then I'm going to use my little mini machine. And I just want the edge that this die is going to give my paper. So I'm going to position my gold foil, and then I'm going to run this through. Now remember, when you're using the mini machine, you want to position your plates like an E so that you've got top and bottom are out a little bit, and they don't have to be that much. I kind of overdid it here. And then the middle plate is in a little bit, and then it works like a charm. Okay, so now what I get is this super cool edge for my photo. I know it's kind of putsy, but I love doing putsy things for a product that I'm going to really enjoy looking at later. So it's worth it to me. Okay, so now we're going to add just a little bit of liquid glue here along the edge. And notice it takes a while for it to come out. That's because I'm being really careful. I don't want to make a mess. All right, so I'm going to add my photo now as a little border. Or the gold is a little border. Okay, isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to take the piece that's left, and I'm actually, there's kind of a ridge here. I'm going to actually use that ridge. That comes from the use of the die as well. So I'm going to use that ridge. Oh, the gold foil is a little bit, it takes a little bit longer with liquid glue to dry. I should have kept that in mind. All right, so now we've got a little decorative piece here. And the idea now for me is to grab some of our dies cut from the DSP. I've got a few. I've got gold, I've got regular, and I will finish that off camera and have it ready for the blog post. But I love being able to decorate really simply and using some really fun pictures. Okay, then let's open this up. And the next picture I was able to cut down. It's kind of a blurry photo of the four of us, but I decided I was going to mount that onto a piece of old olive. So I cut that. This is like a 2x2 photo on a 2 1/8 by 2 1/8 piece of old olive. And then I'm going to even pop that up. So you can start to see why your spine of your book is a really good idea, because you're adding these layers. And like here, I'm popping this up. I'm not going to really super adhere that yet, because I'm going to grab some more of these guys. So I'm going to, I wish I had my glass mat up here now, but I don't. So I'm going to add this on the side and then tuck that under like that. And then we're also going to add a couple more of these. And because I don't do anything easy, I gotta lift up. And I'll do one more here. So I have the rule of 3, you know, 3 things kind of make it all go together nicely. It's pleasing to the eye when you use your 3s. Okay, let's tuck that back in. Doesn't that look cute? And then I can add my little embellishments that also come into or as part of the Sweet collection. And then we're just going to move on. I'm just quickly showing you some ideas of how you can make this look really fun and sweet, and something everybody's going to want to look at. All right, so I'll add that other picture down here at the bottom once I have more of those things cut. And then let's flip and see what I've done on the inside. Okay, so what I've done here is I've added some of that vellum. So one of the vellums looks kind of like a snowscape or a snow scene here. And I just cut 3x4 pieces, and then I tore the edges. And I did that so that I could do 3 photos here like that. So for those now, I can just add the 2x3 photos. Grace wearing her Andrew Walker shirt. If you watch Hallmark, you'll know. If you know, you know. So Grace gets a spot up here at the top. Here's another one of Grace. I'll use that later. Here's one of Owen. I love the smile that he got when he opened up his Minnesota Wild hockey tickets that we all went to together. So he opened those up and was pretty happy about that. And then down here at the bottom, I'll just put one. I didn't have any of Terry with his gifts, but you know, I love these 2x3 photos. So any photo that you take on your phone, you can go into the Walgreens at least and pick whatever size you want. So if you want 2x3, you actually get, like I showed you before, a sheet of 4. But I cut them up and then I'll use the others maybe, or throw them away. You know, the expense isn't enough where I'm like, oh, I can't throw them away. And then, you know, you can decorate these sections too with more of the die cuts and so forth, but see how easy that and fun that is to put together. Okay, then you can flip one more time and you see I've got just some pretty DSP, and I'll probably just leave that and not put anything on that one. I'll put another picture on here, probably either another one of Grace or of Owen. And you know what you could also do is just use these sections as photo mats too. So, you know, there are all kinds of possibilities, but it's really fun when you have all these little spaces to fill, and, you know, you can play around with how you're going to fill them. But I love the 2x3 photos for this. All right, so then to close it, we're going to close that section. We're going to flip this. We're going to close that section. And then here we go. Oh, I know what I was going to say also. Any of these sections here with the DSP, you could do a little journaling. And what I plan to do is do my little journaling with one of these. And then, you know, it'll be all dressed up and tell a story, which I love. So, and then, like I said, just tie this up and set it on your coffee table, and it can be a conversation piece or just a trip down memory lane. This was just last year for 2023, those photos. So, it'll be fun to go, oh yeah, that was a really fun Christmas. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know it took a little bit longer and I knew it would. So I didn't post What's Up Stampers in the events until this morning. So I did post in there to reserve a little extra time to watch. So I hope you did, and I hope you enjoyed the project. Those of you who like to memory keep, this is a great project for that.